Welcome back, Rebels. You are tuned in to Financial Rebellion, the podcast to help ignite the fire of innovation and entrepreneurship in each of you. I'm your host, Todd Romer, here to help you turn your passion into profit or transform a brilliant idea into a booming business. Each week, we explore actionable strategies, insightful tips, and inspiring stories of those who are actually doing it. We're all about helping you create and elevate your own new revenue streams. So let's get rebellious and make those dreams a lucrative reality for you. Now let's jump in to this week's episode. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's podcast of Financial Rebellion. We're excited to have this guest on. It's nice to see a young lady finally join our podcast, by the way. But before we introduce our guest, I want to also mention that we are sponsored by Acorns. It's an amazing place to begin in your investing journey with as little as $5, $10, $20 a week, $50 a month, whatever it is. It's a wonderful place with over 15 million users. I'm an Acorns user as well. And it's a beautiful place to begin your investing journey without having to choose the stocks. We're also sponsored by a couple of credit unions, and we are growing in this particular area of helping credit unions differentiate themselves from banks and also grow a younger membership base. Alabama Credit Union is a sponsor in the Alabama markets where they serve, and also Kemba Credit Union in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky and Southeast Indiana. So those are our sponsors for this week's podcast with Financial Rebellion. We're coming to you. I am traveling this week, as you probably can tell, speaking to a lot of people out west in Idaho. But we have a wonderful guest who's coming to us from Phoenix, Arizona, and her name is Sage Wheeler. Welcome to Financial Rebellion, Sage.
Thank you, Todd. Happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, let's get into it. You design and sell vinyl stickers and resell those stickers on Etsy. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I do.
Fantastic. And you've been doing this for how long?
Yeah, I started during May of 2020. So right during the beginning parts of COVID.
Yeah, that's another wonderful time where people have started businesses, right? During COVID, the beginning stages, and that's fantastic. Before I ask you questions about your business, we always have this fun icebreaker questions for you. Because Financial Rebellion is not just helping you to earn money and these great stories of entrepreneurship and side hustles, but it's what you do with it. And we know that, boy, tons of people are trying to rebel financially against traditional financial education, and we do that, no question. But my first question to you, unrelated to our interview in a moment, is what was your dumbest money move that you have made so far being young in your 20s? Because I believe you're 28 years old. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, your dumbest money move that you've made maybe in your 20s is what?
Yeah, so my husband and I, really early on in our marriage, we actually had moved out to Baltimore because he had accepted a job out there. And we both, originally being from Arizona, had a really I guess high want to be able to connect with family and be able to travel home often, especially because we had our little son with us. And at the time, we really wanted to prioritize those family relationships and spending time with family. So we opened up one of those high interest airline credit cards that always get young people with all of the bonuses and the points and all of the things you think you're going to earn. And I wish in hindsight that we hadn't done that and just, I don't know, found a balance between getting to visit family when we could and not not have that credit card debt.
Understood. You're not alone in that. People ask me all the time about credit cards and what I think of them, and I am not anti-credit card. It does take a very a strong amount of discipline to be able to take advantage of those bonuses, points, rewards, in certain ways. And I know a couple of people, even some nephews, and even a couple of my sons that do it really well. But you got to be super disciplined not to then go into spending on other things. So I get it.
Hmm.
All good. All right, that was your dumbest money move. Again, you're not alone. That is for sure. What's been your best money move you've made in your 20s so far?
Yeah. So I would say that I probably have two that come to mind. The first being investing in my technical skills very early on. Um, my first job in high school was being a bagger at Sprouts Farmers Market. And I was able to use some of that summer money and put it towards a trip to go to California. I was in the yearbook group at school in high school, and had the opportunity to go as an editor of the yearbook to like a I guess a graphic design camp, I would call it, that they were hosting in Long Beach, California. And so I was able to go to that trip with money that I had invested and saved, to put towards it, and was able to go get certified in Adobe Creative Suite, which in high school is
Nice.
not not the normal.
Yeah.
And I was really glad that I had used that money towards that because I've been able to use those skills and that certification for years to come. So I was grateful for that opportunity that I had uh, made that choice to invest in myself early on and those skills that are obviously really marketable now. And the second one would be
Wait, hold on. Time
invest.
out. Time
Oh,
out. Time out
timeout.
real fast on that one. Yeah. No, that is one of the most fun, good money moves that I've heard. It is. It's super cool. All right. I just had to say that. So,
Oh, yeah.
money from working at Sprouts, which I love Sprouts. Uh, you basically invested that or saved it for. That's just fantastic. All right. I just got excited to hear that.
Yeah, no,
Go
I
ahead.
appreciate that.
Number two. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think as a 16-year-old, you don't think, oh, that's, how I want to spend my money. But I was really looking forward to getting to go on that trip. And I'm glad that it ended up being a worthwhile investment in
Yeah.
myself and in my skills at the time. So yeah, I
Okay.
was excited about that.
That's awesome.
uh,
All right. And number two was.
was investing in the opportunity to travel. While I was young, I've been able to travel a couple of times, live abroad a couple of times. I've lived in Bolivia, serving a mission for my church, and then I've also been able to travel to Spain, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Zambia, Africa, and all of those opportunities to travel and see life from other people's perspective, I really feel is so invaluable. So that is just my little plug that I love. I love
Yeah.
traveling, and I think it's a good investment for anyone um, who wants to just experience something different than what they're used to.
Yeah, that's great. No, travel does that, right? It shapes your mind. It brings all kinds of emotions to you, or in the area of gratitude, based on where you
Mhm.
go to. Um, it helps you to uh, really become non-judgmental. Not that saying that you have, you know what I'm saying? It's a really
Yeah.
cool thing. You experience how other people live their lifestyle. Some of the happiest people I've ever seen in my life, or in some very impoverished parts of the world. It really does shape and help and focus and just kind of brings smiles and allows you to be a better person when you get back home. If that makes sense, am I making sense with that?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That's 100% how I feel about it.
That's cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, this was the longest, cool segment of best and worst money moves on Financial Rebellion podcast. But let's get into what you do. How to be financially rebellious requires income to come in, requires, as I spoke twice today in Idaho at a college of a total of 100 students, super amount of enthusiasm. And I said, some of you in this classroom might start figuring out, okay, there's 24 hours in a day. And based on a life that you desire, you might need to work an extra 10 hours a month, find some income to come in or more. And so there was a lot of enthusiasm about that, because then, as we teach, you can begin managing and investing some of that income. So you sell, again, vinyl stickers and then resell and reusable stickers on Etsy. Tell me what some of those designs look like. What are your best sellers? It's kind of unique to me. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so as far as the vinyl stickers, I have had a lot of fun getting to just hear from what people want. A lot of my best sellers are ones that people have requested. So plant themed stickers or maybe mental health themed stickers. So it kind of just depends on, I feel like, what my audience asks for.
Okay, that's good. You're
But
getting
so
your
it's been,
market research. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. It's been neat to get feedback from people and have them say, "Well, are you launching Halloween stickers?" That was our most recent thing was Halloween
Okay.
stickers. But so it's been great to kind of hear feedback from people and have people get excited about what I put out. Um, yeah, so I don't know if that
Yeah.
answers that.
Okay. So when I hear the word vinyl, I think of record vinyl. Kind of a thick, um, vinyl. So it's a thick sticker is what you're
Mhm.
creating. So that's unique. And I know vinyl's been coming back for last 10 years, uh, vinyl records and all that, right? So it's a thick, you're showing a thick sticker that is being put where? Where are these people literally putting these stickers to say, this is something I think is cool or believe in or support?
Yeah, so the nice thing about vinyl is that material is waterproof. So the stickers that I'm able to create are waterproof, weatherproof. They don't fade in the sun. They don't get thrashed around with the rain, or in the dishwasher. So I find that most people usually put the stickers on water bottles or laptops. I've had a couple of people put them on their cars. It's been fun to kind of see where people will put the stickers. I've gotten pictures from people who put them on, I don't know, like their coolers, their the words escaping me. Like an igloo chest.
Yeah. 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 No,
um
no, I get, yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean.
so it's just kind of been fun to see where people end up putting them because I think, oh, well, most people would do a water bottle or a laptop, but then I'm always surprised that people will put them, I don't know, on their toasters or wherever. It's their Cricut cutting machines, their sewing machines. Yeah, it's kind of been fun to kind of see where people end up putting them.
That's really cool that your customers send you photos of where they put them. And so you've kind of found a following. So you've been at this since May of 2020, which means we're into October of 2025. So you're making money um, on the side as a side hustle. Would you mind sharing what you're making, maybe what your best month was or what you're kind of averaging per month coming in?
Yeah, I would say it kind of depends on the month because obviously there are seasons, like especially in quarter 4, where um, everyone is shopping for the holidays, and those months tend to usually be higher. But I would say I'm averaging between about 1,000 and 2,000 a month.
How fun. How fun is that? So simple designs. How much time does it take you to create a new design, if you will? And someone says, "Hey, can you do this?" What does that require of you in terms of effort and time?
Yeah, I would say it depends on the design, but usually I can pull them out fairly quickly now that I'm, well seasoned, so to speak, with the
Yeah,
software and my
yeah,
style. And so I'm able to, yeah, to do them probably within half an hour to an hour at most.
that's awesome. Because this all relates to using your Adobe skill set, correct?
Yes, yes.
Uh, I think this is just fantastic, Sage. I am very. I think this is a very fun episode. One, because it was time, and we are moving on this podcast to bring more young people, young ladies, young gentlemen in that that aren't like, hey, I'm making 100 grand a month. That's cool, but and we have a couple of those, by the way, in our past episodes. But it's also this is you're very people are going to listen and go, wait a minute, I can do that. That sounds cool. 1,000, 2,000. That's exactly what I could do to bring in that money and maybe to invest $500 a month into stocks and bonds. And that's how the financial rebellion way, right? Get the income in, which is what you're doing, and then start making your money grow on the other side hustle that we talk
Hmm.
about, compound interest and investing and all that stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Um, and then you said you're married. You have a son, I think, correct?
Yes, I have a son who actually just turned 5 last week, and then our
Okay.
daughters too.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. And your husband is in medical school? Is that what I heard?
Yes, yeah, he's in his 2nd year of medical school here in Arizona.
Okay. And what is he studying to be? What kind of medicine does he want to practice? Does he
Yeah,
know
so
yet?
he's kind of looked into a couple of different specialties, but I think our family has kind of settled on emergency medicine. So that's what he's hoping to end up doing.
All right. Well, that's cool. Well, I come from a medical family. I'm the youngest of seven, and I went the other way. I did a 180 because even when I give blood, I give blood, and I still look the other way. So that's great. Yeah, I'm sure that's a very, very rewarding area. Emergency medicine can save lives. You can help do a lot of cool stuff in very difficult circumstances that you will be seeing. So, okay, anything else? Oh, I know. I got to ask you this. This is always a big deal. There are listeners, there are viewers right now all across the country. Everywhere I go, we talk about limiting beliefs when it comes to, can I be financially successful? Can I be financially rebellious? Am I smart enough to have a life I desire? Am I motivated enough? Am I disciplined enough? And the emotion of fear comes into all of us. So at what point two questions. When did you realize, okay, I could do this? What caused you to start this business? What idea came to you? And when did you kind of take it to the action step of saying, you know what, I'm going to get on to Etsy and try this? What was your little light bulb moment, if you will?
Yeah, so like I had mentioned before, I started this in May of 2020. And obviously that was a really crazy time for a lot of people. There was a lot of uncertainty in the world. There was a lot of uncertainty as far as how things would pan out. And at that same time, I had just barely graduated from college. My college graduation had been canceled um, in light of COVID. And I had also rarely kind of recently found out that I was expecting our son. So, for me, that time was especially tumultuous just because I felt like there were so many things changing. All of a sudden, I had graduated college. I wasn't really sure what that would look like because I was pregnant. And there were just so many things up in the air for a lot of reasons. And I started just to not I guess I was just looking for something that would make me feel more like myself again, in light of just the chaos happening in the world and in my own personal life as things were changing for our family. And so I was kind of looking to kind of figure out what to do. At the time, I was working for Brigham Young University in an administrative position, and I liked the job. I wasn't crazy about the job. Um, and I kind of was trying to figure out, well, what's my next move now that I'm having this baby? Because I wanted to be able to stay at home. And I had a friend who also worked in graphic design who posted on her Instagram stories one day and shared a design that she had turned into stickers and said, "Hey, I'm selling these stickers for a couple of bucks. Let me know if you're interested in buying some." And within maybe an hour, she had sold all 20 or 30 stickers that she had offered up on her stories. And I saw that and I thought, "Oh, if she can do that, I can do that." And so that was kind of the first moment where I thought, maybe there's something more to this. So I think we invested in a little old iPad, and I mean, we didn't have any money. We were just broke college students and kind of invested in this equipment to be able to illustrate and design. And I at first didn't really know how to market it. And so I just thought, well, I'll just try Facebook Marketplace because I've sold a couple of things on there from around our house and I might as well, that's kind of what I'm familiar with. And so I
Yeah.
listed 2 or 3 sticker designs that I had made and printed up, and the response was crazy. I was having people come to my house to pick up stickers, and I was shipping out stickers to people, and I thought, "Oh, there's really, really something to this." Like, "Oh, this is, making me a little bit of side money." And so I kind of just got brave and decided to sign up for an Etsy account, and, yeah, the rest is history. It was, yeah, it's been fun.
That's great. That's a fun story. Awesome. Well, I can't assume this, but my guess then is you've had very little fear come into play, even while you're doing this. Like, hey, will this last? Or what type of fear has come in? Like, can a new design work? Like, how do you deal with the fear that comes in from time to time,
Yeah,
if any?
yes, I've definitely experienced a lot of fear. I don't want anybody listening to think, "Oh, she's she's superwoman and she's never worried about her business a day in her life." There have definitely been seasons of my business where I've just been in survival mode. Specifically during the times when I've been pregnant, that's usually when all of my energy is focused on growing a baby, not growing a business. And so there have been seasons where it's just been like, I've just got to package up the orders I get in, and I'm not focused on growing, any other aspect of my business. I'm not focused on scaling, or marketing or any of that. Um, but I think the one thing that I'm really grateful for is not letting my fear of messing up hold me back from just trying. I think that a lot of people, as I've talked to a lot of people who are wanting to start businesses and have asked me for advice, friends and strangers, and a couple of people who I can think of, um, they end up not sticking with it because they want it to be perfect from the get go. And I think that a lot of people let that fear of wanting it to be perfect and wanting it to be successful immediately. I think a lot of people let that hold them back from even really starting and letting it have a chance to grow. And I would say that that's probably the one reason why my business has even been remotely successful for my family, is because I've given it the opportunity to fail over and over and over again. And my business is far from perfect. I rarely have a plan. And I feel like I've just had to kind of get over feeling like, well, what if this is going to flop? It's like, it probably will flop. And I have to just be able to pivot and keep going and try again and try something different next time. And I think recognizing that it's not going to be perfect and accepting that as just a part of the journey is a really important step in really creating any business.
That's wonderful words to hear. That pursuit of perfection is a killer for everybody because it's you can't get there. So why? And I'm my hands up first in my past of making sure a product is launched perfectly. And I have a book coming out in a few months. I've had to tell myself, okay, stop. You're going after
Yeah.
perfection again. So at least I have the awareness. That's the key. We're all going to be there,
Yes.
but as long as you're aware and you were aware of it, like, no, I don't need this. Okay, I'm going to stop those thoughts. I don't need to launch this new design perfectly, and if it's not received perfectly, that's okay, and that's a big deal. So thank you for sharing that. That's, I'm sure, very useful for our listeners and those who are watching. Again, this episode of Financial Rebellion. We're here with Sage Wheeler, who's in Phoenix, and the whole episode brought to you by Acorns and Kemba and Alabama Credit Union. Um, well, we are wrapping up here. I want to make sure uh, that you're going to be, I think we talked pre-episode here. I got to send you the link, right? Of course, to become a subscriber to what we think is a very exciting newsletter. We've only been, we're 10 weeks into the launch of the Financial Rebellion weekly free newsletter. Want you to be a subscriber. Of course, we're probably going to talk about you in that issue coming up in a couple of weeks. So uh, definitely be a subscriber. We are having a lot of fun with people like Sage and helping young people just kind of go, wait a minute, I can do this. I can do a side hustle. Um, no matter what it is, I can do something on Etsy. This is the first time, Sage, that we've had anybody like you on that's doing something on a platform where you're selling something on a platform like Etsy. And my bet is that you know of other people who are on Etsy doing some pretty cool things unrelated to stickers. Would that be a safe assumption?
Yes, yes, I've got lots of friends who sell on Etsy.
And that's a wonderful place to do a side hustle. So, well, anything else you want to share before we part ways on this podcast episode of Financial Rebellion? You want to share any other final bits of wisdom for those who are still on the fence, like, should I pursue something?
Yeah, I would just say definitely go for it. I've learned from experience that it doesn't have to be perfect and you'll learn along the way and that's a part of the fun. So, you just got to start.
Yeah, it's fun. And you've learned a lot about yourself, haven't you, when you've done this
Yes.
business? I know the answer already. It just is absolutely the truth. You're like, gosh, it is fun to have a side hustle. I didn't know I could do this or learn this skill or that or and all that. So it's like a fun it's like travel. You experience more like I didn't know I had this in me. And
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's a fun feeling. So fantastic. Again, thank you for being with us here on Financial Rebellion. It's been great having you. And again, for those of you who are listening, go to financial-rebellion.com. Again, financial, put a dash rebellion.com. Subscribe to our free weekly newsletter. That's where the true gold is, where we teach you the Financial Rebellion way to learn how to become smarter about money in investing in business in less than 10 minutes a week. So, well, that is it. Again, thank you, Sage, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Todd.
You got it. All right, until next time, Rebels out.